आपन्नः नरदेवत्वम् आपन्नः नरदेवत्वमापन्नः सुरा कार्या चिकीर्षया सुरकार्य चिकीर्षया समुद्रा निग्रह आदीनि समुद्र निग्रहादीनि चक्रे वीर्याणि अतः परं चक्रे वीर्याण्यतः परं चक्रे वीर्याण्यतः परं नरदेवत्वमापन्नः सुरकार्यचिकीर्षया समुद्रनिग्रहादीनि चक्रे वीर्याण्यतः परं नरदेवत्वमापन्नः सुरकार्यचिकीर्षया समुद्रनिग्रहादीनि चक्रे वीर्याण्यतः परं नरदेवत्वमापन्नः सुरकार्यचिकीर्षया समुद्रनिग्रहादीनि चक्रे वीर्याण्यतः परं
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Rama in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods. He exhibited superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist king Ravana, who was on the other side of the sea. It happened by coincidence or we picked this one? Translation with repetition. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared, as King Rama, in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods. He exhibited superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist king Ravana, who was on the other side of the sea. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead, Sri Rama, assumed the form of a human being and appeared on the earth for the purpose of doing some pleasing work for the demigods or the administrative personalities to maintain the order of the universe. Sometimes great demons and atheists like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu and many others become very famous due to advancing material civilization by the help of material science and other activities with the spirit of challenging the established order of the Lord. For example, the attempt to fly to other planets by material means is a challenge to the established order. The conditions of each and every planet are different, and different classes of human beings are accommodated there for particular purposes mentioned in the codes of the Lord. But puffed up by tiny success in material advancement, sometimes the godless materialistic challenges. The godless materialist challenges the existence of God. Ravana was one of them, and he wanted to deport ordinary men to the planets of Indra, heaven, by material means, without consideration of the necessary qualifications. He wanted a staircase to be built by directly reaching the heavenly planet, so that people might not be required to undergo the routine of pious work necessary to enter that planet. He perform other acts against the established rule of the Lord. He even challenged the authority of Sri Rama, the personality of Godhead, and kidnapped his wife Sita. Of course, Lord Rama came to chastise this atheist, answering the prayer and desire of the demigods. He therefore took up the challenge of Ravana, and the complete activity is the subject matter of the Ramayana. Because Lord Ramachandra was the personality of Godhead, he exhibited superhuman activities which no human being, including the materially advanced Ravana, could perform. Lord Ramachandra prepared a royal road on the Indian Ocean with stones that floated on the water. The modern scientists have done research in the area of weightlessness, but it is not possible to bring in weightlessness anywhere and everywhere. But because the weightlessness is the condition of the Lord, because the But because weightlessness is the creation of the Lord, by which he can make the gigantic planets fly and float in the air, he made the stones even within this earth to be weightless and prepared a stone bridge on the sea without any supporting pillar. That is the display of the power of God. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. As we observe Ramnavami today, it's a wonderful opportunity to read from the Bhagavatam. In this chapter, third chapter of the first canto, called Krishna is the source of all incarnations, and in this verse about Lord Ramachandra. Nara devatvam apannaha. Devatvam apannaha. The Supreme Lord took up a human-like form. But actually he is devatvam. He is the Supreme Person. He appeared like a human being. Nara devatvam apannaha, having assumed apanna, having taken the form, having assumed the form. What was the Lord's intent that he took this human-like, king-like form? Surakarya chikirshaya. Suras, devatas, surakarya, to support their duties and activities, surakarya chikirshaya, in order to take up the purpose of, for the purpose of chikirshaya, for the purpose of performing samudra nigraha adini. Samudra nigraha. So in this verse there is a slight reference to activities of Ram, and so it just mentions Samudra Nigraha. He brought the Indian Ocean, Samudra, under his control, Nigraha, Adini, and etc. Many other. Chakre Viryanyathav Param. And in this way he performed Viryani Chakre. He performed extraordinary activities, superhuman activities, and thereafter, Nigraha, Samudra Nigraha Adini, Viryani Chakre, Atah Param Chakre Viryani, and thereafter he performed many wonderful activities. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Rama, Naradevatvam apannaha, in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods. Surakarya chikirshaya, He exhibited superhuman powers, Viryani, Chakre Viryani, by controlling the Indian Ocean, Samudra Nigrahadini, and then killing the atheist king Ravana, who was on the other side of the sea, Atah Param. So Prabhupada, in the beginning of the purport, he has mentioned one interesting expression is here. The personality of Godhead Sri Rama assumed the form of a human being and appeared on the earth for the purpose of doing some pleasing work for the demigods or the administrative personalities to maintain the order of the universe. So this universe has a certain order. There is a certain purpose. The universe is maintained for a certain intent. Just like if we stand on the road and if many cars are going, scooters are going, some people are walking, you stop anybody and ask, "Sir, I'm doing a survey. What is the purpose of your going?" And they will say, "I'm going to the school, I'm going to the office, I'm going to drop my child in the school, or I'm going for shopping." Everybody has one purpose because of which they are going. When God creates this universe, does He have a purpose? Yes, He has a purpose. That is the order of the Lord. He had a certain purpose for creating this world. And we are born here, and we are part of this world, this universe, this creation. So, there is a certain order for us too, or we also fit into that larger order of the Lord, larger plan of the Lord. But very rarely we consider all these things in our life seriously. Some time back, we were discussing something in some meeting, and then it was some tax matter. And so there was one person, he said, no, and then he opened, you see, the IT Act says, and then he read out. And then we were again discussing. After some time, again, no, please see what the Act says. Again he read some sentence. So, when you are discussing some matter, serious discussion, you carefully read that act, that portion of that clause, because that act is passed by the parliament, the law-making body, and that act and the clauses and the provisions of the act is binding on all of us. Isn't it? That's why we read carefully the law. Hey, no, see, carefully see what it says. Oh, it says like that. Oh, then we should not do this, we should do something we plan. So, if there is an order, if there is an act from the parliament, or if there is an order of the government, if there is an the similar thing happened in another situation. No, this is not, this is the order of the government. Or this is the order of the court. We carefully read. Isn't it? The Shastra is the order of God. The supreme lawmaker, the supreme executive, and the supreme justice giver. The Lord and His order is the Shastra. That's why Srila Prabhupada said we should read His books like a lawyer reads his law books. Lawyers thoroughly read, reread, and then, this is what it is. So in the same way, we should read Shastra like lawyers read their law book. In other words, with a certain amount of seriousness, with a certain amount of careful scrutiny for an understanding. But leave alone reading Shastra scrutinizingly, carefully, people don't even know even basics of these things in this world. They are busy learning some technical knowledge, like most of you are, I think, or some medical knowledge, or some legal knowledge. Because that will give me a job. With job I can have good life. So like this, the whole perspective about life is just to maintain our life for a few years. And then, what to do, we become old and we die. Srila Prabhupada says, a deeply inquisitive person will ask this fundamental question: why is it like this? Why is it that we get old? Why is it that we get diseased? And why is it that we die? And then after death, what happens? So, it is not that we are saying you should not think about your job, you should not think about your professional knowledge, acquiring some professional knowledge, get a job, get a good salary. We're not saying you should not do that. You can do that. That's one of the things we should do. But there is a more fundamental thing as human beings we are expected to do. It's okay, something is happening. Huh? Okay, offering. So there is something very important that we are supposed to do as human beings according to the order of the Lord, according to the plan of the Lord, which is to understand this world, the purpose behind this world, because no one else cannot, no other living entities can understand that. Birds, animals, beasts, insects, they cannot think, is there a plan of the Lord? Is there a purpose for creation? What is the purpose of creation? They cannot comprehend these things. They are not competent. They are not made that way, whereas we are made. Yesterday I was referring to this. I don't know if some of you were there. You see, one of the things very unique about human life is relationship. I was watching the other day in the temple. There was one mother, one child, small baby, small child. And she was trying to take the child. The child is not coming. So she left the child and she walked a few steps ahead. And mother, after all, she walked a few steps and turned around. And the child was already realized that, oh, mother is gone, I am alone. And the child also ran to the mother and held the mother, and the mother also held the child. See, relationship. Child also likes to hold on to the mother, and mother also likes to hold on to the child. See, there's an affectionate relationship. All of us would have done that also, right? When we were small, to our mothers. So that mother-child relationship, this degree of relationship, understanding and exchange is not there in the animals. To some extent it is there, but not so much. When the dog has many puppies, their mother takes care of them. But after some time, by the order of the Lord, they wean away, they send their babies away and even bark at them and try to come away, go away. And they have to lead their life on their own. That is nature's, Lord's arrangement. The experience of relationship is for a short while. Whereas in the human beings, all these relationships we take very seriously, we experience it very seriously. Father, mother don't want to let their son go anywhere. They want to have control. My son, my daughter. And children also, oh, my father, my mother. We feel that relationship. Even when I joined iskcon many years ago, for me the biggest problem was, oh, my parents. They will cry and I can't take it. You see how the heart relationship is. And of course there are other relationships. Friends relationship we experience. We experience brother-sister relationships. Then we experience husband-wife relationships. So we have a very nice understanding of relationships. Our consciousness is very evolved to understand and experience these relationships. And Krishna gives us, according to his plan, all these relationships end one day. One day I was in somebody's house in Lucknow, the devotee's house. And something in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock, I was little awake. And suddenly from the neighbor house, I started hearing somebody wailing, crying loudly. The devotee family, they had put me in one room and I was also wondering, what is it? And slowly I opened the door and I saw the host, the devotee. He had gone, and after some time he came and he told me, Prabhu, neighbor, somebody passed away. You see how somebody goes and then people feel so strongly, relationship ends. It's unbearable. So, Krishna is giving us an experience of relationship, and he is giving us an experience of ending relationships. And from the Shastra, he is telling all relationships in the material world end. But we all have a relationship with Krishna. And that relationship is an eternal relationship. It will never end. And it is a loving relationship. And it is an intimate relationship. Not only it is a loving, intimate relationship, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught further, it is a loving, intimate, ecstatic relationship. It's a relationship one can perpetually experience in an ecstatic form. It is spontaneous and ecstatic. Spontaneous means it is natural. Just like water flows from a higher level to the lower level, naturally. If you want to make water to flow from a lower level to a higher level, it won't happen naturally. You need a pump to force the water up. That's not natural. Naturally, it flows down. In the same way, our relationship with God is not something to be rehearsed, something to be newly developed. Prabhupada says, one of the effects of chanting Hare Krishna is that it revives our original attraction for the Lord. We have an original attraction for the Lord because we are related to Him. But right now, there is a covering of material ignorance, and hence that our original attraction for the Lord is subdued, and we have developed so many other relationships, and we are attracted to those relationships. So, Krishna is trying to teach us that these relationships in the material world, it may be attractive, it may be pleasing, but it will all end. Just like in our previous life, we had so many relations, we were in some other situation. We also had a father, mother. In our previous life, we might have had husband, wife. In our previous life, we must have had children. In our previous life, completely gone, isn't it? Wiped out that relationships. Now we are experiencing a new set of relationship. So, human life, not only relationship is one of the things. In so many other ways, the opportunities for enjoying the senses, that's there in every species. Relationships are also there in the other species, but to a lesser degree. Whereas our ability to experience relationship, our ability to experience sensual pleasures, all of this is heightened. But then Krishna demonstrates to us that all of that ends one day. So, you see, the point is, what is very nice and special about Srila Prabhupada's presentation of Krishna consciousness? We don't read texts like the Gita, the Bhagavatam, strictly and in a strictly limited to a religious framework. This is Devata, this is Yajna, we must do this, we must do. Not only from a strictly religious framework. You can read the Vedic literatures from a religious framework too. But even beyond that, it is describing existential reality. Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas draw and read and identify an existential reality being described. What is the meaning of existential reality? First experience, let's forget everything else. First we know that we exist. Correct? We are sitting here in the basement of this building. We know time is passing, it is going to be 7 o'clock. Some of us are planning to go to Vrindavan. Today is Ramnavami. So this is reality for us. Today's reality. We understand that. And when you look around, you see there is furniture, there is desk, there is a microphone. This also exists. Oh, this exists. I also exist. I not only exist, I have awareness. I know this exists, this table exists, desk exists, building exists, floor exists. I am not only existing, I am also having awareness of my own existence and other existence. My own existence I know in terms of my body. I am a man, I am a woman, I am a child, I am Indian, I am American. This kind of an awareness we have. This furniture we know, it doesn't have an awareness. It exists, it doesn't know it exists. Whereas I know, I not only exist, I know I exist. So there is existence, there is awareness. One more thing about all of us, we not only exist, we not only are aware of our existence. Suppose I tell you, please forget everything. I'm going to give class for the next 4 hours and please be seated. You'll all become very unhappy. Oh my God, 4 hours Prabhu is going to speak. Boring. It could become boring. Mostly it will become. So why? Because we want pleasure. We can take some 45 minutes class, we can take. Okay, thank you. After that we want a change. We want something else. So, existence, awareness of existence, and another third feature is we want pleasure. We are all pleasure seeking. If there is anything that causes a disturbance to our pleasure, we want to act on it, we want to modify that situation so that once again pleasure is restored. We are constantly looking for pleasure. These are the 3 fundamental attributes. In Vedic literature, it is called Sat, existence, Chit, Chetana, awareness, and seeking of pleasure, Ananda. Why is it like this? One scientist wrote a book. Interesting, he's a scientist, but he's also a very good thinker. He wrote a book. In that he writes, we scientists, we study the universe. We are seeing planets, galaxies. We are studying physical laws. We are studying law of gravity, law of electromagnetism. We are studying the universe. But the very basic question is, why does the universe exist for the scientist to study?
Why does nothing exist? Something exists and we are studying it. We have made it our profession to study whole life. We are absorbed in studying that. Why does the world exist for us to study? Instead of world existing, imagine there nothing existing. Maybe we would have studied that nothing or whatever. But at least something exists and we are studying the universe, that what exists, and why does that exist? See, this is interesting. He was given many awards. He's an author. He writes many books like this. Good questions he asks. He has received many awards also. So it's a good question. Why does the universe exist that the scientist is studying? Scientist studies the universe in one way. Historians study the universe in yet another way. Oh, human society going on like this for 1,000, 500 years, 400 years. Why it is like that? You see? Economists study the universe in yet another way. Distribution of wealth, creation of wealth. It's all about economy. So different people are there, they are studying the universe. Now, this great, wonderful author missed out one thing. He's asking the question, why does the universe exist, that we all study as scientists? He missed out one more important fundamental reality. Why do we exist, that we are able to study the universe? Universe exists simply, it just exists. Whereas we exist and we have the ability to study the universe. We have one more additional component. Awareness. That's why we are studying what is study of the universe? It's just a greater awareness. I want to have a better awareness of the universe. So it's actually a development of the awareness feature. The scientist is not only studying, he is studying the universe, and he is studying, he is aware, he is having awareness. The scientist also has one family. He also has some hobbies. He also has one dog, a pet or whatever, through which the interaction with his family, he is enjoying happiness. See, he not only exists, he is not only increasing his awareness, he also is having one pursuit of pleasure through all this. See how our Vedic literatures are describing this is the fundamental reality. We exist, we are aware, and we are pleasure seekers. And we all see in our existence in this world, our existence itself is threatened. Death happens, disease comes, earthquake happens. See, or some disaster happens. So our existence is threatened. Our knowledge and awareness is always imperfect. We come up, scientists come up with some theory and somebody else comes with new observation, new argument, and that theory is defeated and something else is go on. And similarly, our pursuit of pleasure is constantly hampered. And that is why an inquisitive person, a deeply inquisitive person, should ask this question: why does the universe exist? Why do I exist? Why is my awareness like this? And why is my pursuit of pleasure, always hampered? And finally, all my pursuit of knowledge, pursuit of awareness, pursuit of pleasure, and my pursuit of existence. We are also pursuing our existence. Anything threatens our existence, we will fight back. Like a building has fire code. They told us, oh, you should have one more door, you should have one staircase, one more. Why? Because in case of fire, the regulations are that we should protect everybody. They should escape. Because our existence, we want to further it. We don't want it to be curtailed. See, our existence, we are in pursuit of existence, pursuit of awareness. Why do you go to school, college, university, big thing? Pursuit of awareness, pursuit of knowledge. And after doing all, if you get a good degree but you don't get a job, you will not go there. Because you should get a job so that with salary I can enjoy life. You see? So, why is it like this? In fact, the order of the Lord is that in human society we pursue this enquiry, very fundamental enquiry about our existence and our pursuit of knowledge and our pursuit of pleasure. And Shastras give this answer that we are actually, the larger picture is that we are actually a part and parcel of the Supreme. We have a relation with the Supreme, and that relationship is of servant, serving the Lord for His pleasure. That is His position as the enjoyer, and our position is to serve Him. And by serving Him, we also get enjoyment. Not that we will not get served. We serve Him, we suffer, and He enjoys. No, it's not like that. He enjoys, and He will fill our heart with joy. This is the whole dynamic. That's why Krishna teaches this. Aham hi sarva yagnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatvena chavanti te. This is the truth. He is the Prabhu and Master, Prabhu and Prabhu and Bhokta, Master and Enjoyer of all sacrifices. Of all sacrifices, again, in a religious framework you can read, Om Swaha, that's a religious sacrifice. Prabhupada expands that in the purport. Oh, everybody makes sacrifices in life. People work hard, sacrificing some comfort. All such sacrifices, Krishna should be the enjoyer. You see, taking it, reading Vedic literatures beyond a religious framework. Aham hi sarva yagnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. In all acts of sacrifices that everybody does, Krishna should be the master, Krishna should be the enjoyer. Natu mam abhijananti tatvena. If somebody is not recognizing this position of the Lord as the Prabhu and Master, Prabhu and Bhokta, chavantite, they fall down into this material world. This is what has happened to all of us. This is our position. You see, this kind of an understanding, reading the Vedic literatures to discover the existential truth about ourselves and about the universe. This is the wonderful presentation of Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas. So, we have a lot to benefit. This is why Lord came as Ramachandra. And there are some people who will try to disturb the order of the Lord. Disturb the established order of the Lord. And that is why the Sura Devatas had gone to Vishnu and prayed, please come. There is a demoniac king here. He has become very powerful. And so Surakarya Chikirshaya. Lord appears. He appeared as Ramachandra. Like this, we get a sense Lord keeps appearing in order to re-establish the order of the Lord. And there is always this pursuit of pleasure out of such greed that people try to disturb the order of the Lord and to create their own order in pursuit of pleasure, pursuit of existence, pursuit of awareness. So when such a thing happens, the Lord Himself comes in order to establish His order. We will stop here, almost run out of time. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Ramachandra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Go Premanande.